Hi there. Thanks for checking out my journey video series where I'm documenting the lessons and the challenges associated with building a business from the ground up. In my case, a video blog and YouTube channel. My name is Rich Oban and I'm the founder of TheMotivationMindset. And today I want to talk about trusting the process. And this is the first time in my life and in my career where I have had my primary responsibility is to do creative things. So I'm creating vlog posts and blog posts for my website. And even though my topic is generally kind of slanted towards, academically inclined topics, I'm reading research papers and I'm discussing those kinds of things. So, a lot of data and numbers and things like that. The actual process of taking that information and melting it down into a kind of a cohesive discussion of what the meanings are of those topics is very much a creative process. And so it's the first time in my life that I've had that as my primary function. And so one of the things that I've found is that as I go through the process of creating my vlog posts, that sometimes you need to, you don't always know where you're going to end up at the end point. You may have an idea of where you think you're going and what you're trying to create, but kind of creativity kind of gets in the way, so to speak. And you have to have some faith and trust in not only your skills, but in trust in what you're going to uncover and learn as you go through the process, and where that's going to lead you as you go through that process. So prime example, this last week or so, I've been working on what started out as a single blog post related to the topic of locus of control. And generally speaking, I give myself one day ish to research and write out my blog posts, and typically they're relatively short. And so when I started writing this post last week, it started taking longer than it normally does. I got to the end of the day and it wasn't done, and so it carried over into the next day, which I generally don't like to do. But I trusted the process, and it went into the second day, and I worked on it that whole day, and it still wasn't done. And then it carried into a third day and a fourth day and a fifth day, and much longer than I had originally anticipated. And so what started out as just a single vlog post on a topic ended up being over an 8,000 word collection of posts on a related topic, but they ended up being broken out into multiple kind of subtopics on the topic. And so I just had to trust the process, because if I normally would get to my third day, fourth day on writing a single vlog post, I'd be going crazy thinking oh my word, I'm behind on all these other things that I have to get done. I got to just cut it off, or cut out some of these things that I've written and just move on, write about it another day, or not at all, or what have you. But I had to keep reminding myself, trust the process. It's going to work. You're going to get something useful and helpful out of it. And because when I started, I didn't have any intention of breaking it into multiple pieces. And even when that idea started kind of forming in my head, I wasn't really sure how I was going to do it, or whether it was even gonna work right or flow right or anything like that. So I wasn't confident that I could make it into multiple posts. But I kept finding more information and kept trusting that I could figure out a way to make it happen, and just like I said, kind of trust the process, and eventually it worked out, and ultimately it's actually gonna benefit me, because it kind of got me ahead of the game for my content creation for the next several weeks. So long story short, if you trust the process, a lot of times, maybe not always, but in some cases, it will help you in the long run, not only with things that you'll learn, but you will actually sometimes produce more and be more efficient or effective at whatever it is that you're trying to do or create than you had originally envisioned, and maybe even ultimately produce something that is different than what you had originally envisioned, but likely better. So I thought that was a really good lesson for myself, and I thought I would share that with you today. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next video.